Madam Chairperson. I stand on the protocol that has already been established. Welcome to this two-day symposium, which is designed to answer some of the questions that we've been having, particularly as it relates to branding Tobago clean, green, safe, and serene. I've been asked to speak on the subject, actualizing the Tobago vision. Madam Chairperson, let me place into context the parameters in which the CEDP2 has been crafted. It is common knowledge that no nation, no region, no entity, or even a household can chart a dedicated and empirically sound roadmap for socio-economic development and for success without preparing a strategic plan and acquiring an appropriate compass for charting the way ahead. It is within this context that we need to understand and participate in this exercise for the next 2 days. All of us will be aware that the precursor to CEDP2 was CEDP1, the success of which, in large measure, as the Chief Secretary said, was stultified because the mechanisms for putting that plan into action were not carefully crafted as they should have been. Given that reality, the Executive Council of the Tobago House of Assembly did everything within its power to ensure that the modalities for actualizing CEDP2 were put in place, and our very presence here today attests to the strategic approach to the implementation of this economic plan. We who are gathered here today are compelled to ask the question, what is our objective? Do we have a vision? Have we crafted the appropriate strategies to take us along this development journey? Even as we traverse the journey, have we itemized critical, measurable goals and attainable targets for ourselves so that we can herald success, document and ratify failures, and re-strategize as is required? For ease of reference this morning, let me provide you with the main objectives of CEDP2 as articulated by the framers of the document. They have been stated as follows inter alia. The main objective of CEDP2 is the achievement of increased and sustained economic growth, diversification, revitalization of the Tobago economy through private sector development and the transformation of its people, communities, and institutions through the provision of the necessary enabling environment. And there are some key words that we must recognize here: diversification, revitalization, private sector development, most of all, communities, and of course, overarching all of that, people-centered development. You would readily agree, ladies and gentlemen, that the objective speaks to a participatory approach to development. It champions people, people-centered planning and development. It recognizes the need for the provision of appropriate technology and other forms of infrastructure. Moreover, the objective places the people of Tobago at the center of its economic development planning process. And this is the most notable ideal that any planner can and must champion. Madam Chairperson, the framers of the plan also made the following critical statement in respect of Strategic Priority Area 1, which is branding Tobago clean, green, safe, and serene. There will be the need for social marketing of the concept through mass media, participatory methodologies, and other mechanisms such that there is a consistent focus on the achievement of this composite goal. There will be the need for a Tobago Sustainable Development Committee comprised of a cross-section of stakeholders to initiate the branding and to maintain oversight implementation of CEDP2. Your presence here today, ladies and gentlemen, is the commencement of the step in the direction of continuous social marketing of the entire CEDP concept, but particularly SPA1, Strategic Priority Area 1. Permit me, Madam Chairperson, to state the framework upon which I anticipate much of the discussion will surround for the next few days, or next 2 days. I recently came across the seminal articles published by a renowned economist, Michael H. Schumann. He's an American author, and he has championed wide-ranging publications in the field of globalization and macroeconomic development. The one that captured my interest, Madam Chairperson, is his book entitled Creating Self-Reliant Communities in a Global Age. I think everybody will be enthused by that particular title. Creating Self-Reliant Communities in a Global Age. You would readily agree that the title of that book bears direct resemblance to what we are setting about to achieve in Tobago at this time. What further stirred my interest were 2 women that were identified by Schumann. No doubt, I know that this will pique your interest. The first lady that he identified was Lois, L-O-I-S. Contrary to your thoughts at this time and imagination, Lois stands for local ownership and import substitution. Did you get that? So you got Lois, L-O-I-S, local ownership and import substitution. In this component of Schuhann's book, Schuhann speaks to the need for economies to establish needs-driven industries. He stresses the need for import replacement. Let me quote a small portion of his philosophy for your ease of reference, and I'm sure that this will form part of our discussion on the plenary. He said, the dependency on necessities from outside the community means that a remote crisis can reverberate into a local one. He goes on to stress that import substitution growth facilitates diversification of the local economy and the accumulation of its own capital, skills, and expertise. While we will all agree that no man is an island, Schumann was championing the philosophy of building self-reliant communities. Such description, ladies and gentlemen, mirrors the Tobago that we must be aspiring to build at this time. It must be a Tobago that draws upon the rich human history and our cherished cultural heritage. It must be a Tobago that recognizes the peculiarities and the attributes that must come together if the commanding heights of our island are going to be successfully traversed. It is within this context, ladies and gentlemen, that the concept of clean, green, safe, and serene must be seen. The crux of Schumann's argument is empowering through ownership. Empowering through ownership. Schumann also spoke, and I'm going to close in a while, Schumann spoke also of another woman, and he called that woman Tina, T-I-N-A. Again, I can see your imaginations and feel them going across the room. But Tina simply means there is no alternative. There is no alternative. And within recent times, we have been compelling ourselves to believe that there is no alternative to foreign direct investment. So placed within his thesis was the critical vision with which he viewed foreign direct investment. The TINA concept, ladies and gentlemen, is predicated, as I said, on FDIs. Schumann made the argument that foreign direct investment tends to be faceless. He lamented the subsidies that are necessary in order to attract foreign direct investment. This strikes at the very heart of the concept of corporate social responsibility. Because if people are just coming to an island because the attributes for coming are presented, they might not necessarily have the appropriate corporate social responsibility. And this is a debate that we might want to have over the next 2 days. It will be interesting for us to examine over the next few days, ladies and gentlemen, whether we need to adopt a strategy that is based on local ownership and import substitution as we deal with a very, very important topic of contained in SPA 1, or whether we are going to adopt the TINA approach. My own position, ladies and gentlemen, is that we need a very skillful mix of both LOIS and TINA if we are going to be successful in our development thrust in Tobago over the next couple of years. Let us therefore approach these 2 days with prudence, being mindful of where we are and where we want to go. These deliberations, as well as others similar to it, will go a long way in providing the framework for successfully attaining our development objectives on this island. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.